Love lives here.
So, happy Mother's Day or happy Nurturer's Day. The quality of God that gives of itself nurtures life and holds everything together is pure love, unconditional love. And the model we've been given for this way of loving and living is motherhood or nurturehood. Just like Reverend Jeff said, you know, there's a lot of different nurtures. I sent a text message with a little picture to my niece who has a dog, a little cute little dog, and she said, "This is my child." And then on Facebook, she had a picture of a sonogram with the little dog's face in it. I'm like, well, how does she do that? How does she manage that? But happy Mother's Day and happy Nurturer's Day. And so, you know me, I always like to laugh. You know, I'm a morning person, unless I'm woken up prematurely from my sleep. But typically, I'm a morning person, and I'm like this all day. And my kids are like, "We can't take you. Stop right now." So I have a joke for you. So a police recruit was asked during the exam. So he was taking his exam, and so the police recruit was asked, "What would you do if you had to arrest your own mother?" Ooh. So his response was, "I'd call for backup." And this joke that I'm telling today is from Spiritual Passages. It's a wonderful website that I get an email every week about the topics and what's going on in the world. And so I find some humor on that one. So, yes, today we're talking about one power, two lives, but I have another joke. Reverend Jeffrey, I have another joke. And this woman was writing her son. You probably have heard this one before, but she says, "Dear son, I enjoy seeing you so much recently. It made me realize how much I miss you. But I don't want you to worry. I don't get lonely because I have some men friends in my life that keep me company." And so she said, "I wake up with Charlie Horse. I exercise with willpower. I spend my days with arthritis. And I go to bed with Mr. Ben Gay." Isn't that funny? I don't know about you, but I can relate to some of that. Not all of it, but some of it. So she goes on to say, you know, things are changing. She says, even the mirror that I look in is not the way it used to be. She said, I met a friend for lunch, and she's gotten so old. She hardly recognized me. So anyway, she goes on to say, but I love you, Mom. Love, Mom. And so I just like to start off with some humor because, you know, we're anticipating what's going to be said, and I like to break the ice with some humor. So thank you for indulging me in that. So the message today is one power and two uses of that one power. And next week, Reverend Jeffrey is going to unpack it a little bit more. But spirit, the absolute, is an amazing creative force. This amazing creative force. And so what it does is it has its own laws. How we use it is we use it in the flow. So it flows through us as us. And so we can create through using this law, this beautiful creative force. We call it the law of attraction. So the law of attraction is a universal principle that states you will attract whatever you focus on into life. Me too, not just you, me too. Whatever we give our energy to and our attention to comes back to us. When you focus on abundance of the good in life, you get the abundance of the good coming back to you, right? So we want to attract more positive things in our life, and the way we do it is by focusing on more positive things. You know, you can look out the door. I saw a cartoon one time, and one girl was in the wind, and her hair was blowing this way, and she was quite annoyed. And another young girl was, the wind was blowing this way, and she was enjoying it very much. So it's all about perspective, right? So this law that I'm talking about, the law always says yes, 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 my beloved. It's like the genie in the bottle. Your wish is my command. So who is the beloved of the divine? Or who is the beloved? The divine and the one are the same. So who are the beloveds? We are. We are, right? We are. So when we talk about one power and two uses, we can use the law for good. I just talked about positivity, good. Can we use the law for harm? We can. So number two, the two uses is we can use it for good, we can use it for harm. Using it for good, the power is within us, and we can manifest abundance. We can look outside and we can see the abundance. The trees are blowing. There's abundance out there. We can have abundance in our life. We can have perfect health and wholeness because we're already perfect, whole, and complete. We just have to recognize it. We can have right relationships. We can have perfect and right employment. We can have everything that we want by opening up to this power, receiving the benefits, allowing it to flow through us like a river flows. And if there's a rock in the way, a boulder in the way, the water just goes right across it, right? So we can use this power for good. We can use it for harm. Can a person intentionally use the law for harm? Yes. Is that what you're going to stick with? That's the story you're going to stick with? Yes. Me too. So Emma Curtis Hopkins writes, the true God folds us around exactly the life we like, the life with which we are familiar, the style, the mode of what we like. That is where the law of attraction is working. Since we are thinking beings and we cannot stop thinking, and since the creative mind receives the impress of our thoughts and acts upon it, and it's all up to us, right? So we are constantly creating. Why? Why can we use it for good, and why can we use it for harm? Why are there two uses of this power? And it's because the law is no respecter of persons. It says that in James 2nd chapter, 1st verse through 11th verse. The law is no respecter of persons. So we are the beloved of the divine. You can use it, I can use it, and we can use it however we see fit, right? And since we are always at choice, it's up to us to choose. They used to say, there's an angel and a devil on your shoulder. I don't know about you, but people used to say that all the time when I was growing up. So you are at choice. So let me tell you about the negative way to attract and use the law. And it's because of fear, confusion, selfishness, lack, and limitation. But we are always at choice. But what we see is we see people in history like Hitler, very charismatic, use the law for his own purposes, use the law to bend the will of people to follow him, that herd mentality, that sheep mentality that says that I'm going to follow you because I'm stuck in lack, limitation, and fear. And that's how we use it negatively. That's one way we use it negatively. That's one way we can use it to harm, because there's a collective consciousness. So when I talked about Emma Curtis Hopkins and what she said about, we like things the way they are, so if if I'm comfortable with the way it is, I want it to stay that way. And I don't want to see anything different. I don't want to see any changes happen because I'm stuck in the way that it looks for me. It works for me. I don't want to change. I'm in fear that if I change, something else might occur that I may not like or welcome in my life. I'm in lack and limitation. These people over here may take away from me what I have, and I don't want that to happen. Lack, limitation, false beliefs. The sheep, the herd mentality. So the law is no respecter of persons and will bring good or evil to any according to its use or misuse of it. It will be a law of freedom to the righteous and one of bondage to those who misuse it. We cannot escape from the creative power of our thoughts, and there is no use in trying to do so. Acts upon it. It acts upon it. The people who followed forgot that they had choice. And what happens when the sheep is just following along, perpetuating the behavior? The sheep mentality turns into the what mentality? The mob mentality when you're faced with change. Then the sheep turns into the mob. Where have we landed? They forgot, or whoever is that, whoever that we is, forgot to how do you say that? To thine own self be true. Because there's another old saying that hurt people hurt people. So you get to choose. We get to choose what we want in this collective consciousness to be. I want it to be all good because I know God, the Spirit absolute, the divine presence is all good. So that's what I want to put out into the world, the goodness of God, the goodness of Spirit. Love thy neighbor as thyself. They sang a song, One People. We're all one people. So I get to choose. You get to choose for the highest good. We choose that with clarity of mind, that all people are one with the divine. We get to focus. We get to focus on what we want in our lives, the goodness of spirit in our lives, the goodness of abundance, perfect health and wholeness. Love thy neighbor of thyself, the good Samaritan. We get to choose all of that stuff. We should be choosing for the highest good. We get to have faith that this power within me works because it does. And conviction, when we talk about spiritual mind treatment, the third step of treatment is realization. That is the conviction that we must have. The third step of treatment, now you have consciousness, the infinite intelligence working through you and acting upon it. So what am I bringing to this energy? What are we bringing to this energy, this law? I'm using it consciously or unconsciously. So we get to choose. So all we need to do is to use the law with the right motives, then we shall be free. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can. So we choose love. We choose to use this power, this one power, these two uses with the power and presence of love. Because we could use it unconsciously. We could use it for harm. But who wants that? Who wants it coming back at them tenfold? And you can't duck and dodge it because what you put out there, you get back. So we need to consciously choose. Okay, so I'm going to pause right here, and we're going to go to our table questions and talk, and our table talk. Okay, and I'll be back. All right, so very beautiful, good discussion today. So echoing what Reverend Jeffrey was saying about worry and things like that, the misuse of the law. When we are consciously using the law for harm, then I'm going to say that it's because of greed, power, wanting more power, and control. And that is about fear, lack, and limitations. So remember, the law of attraction will bring into your experience that upon which your thoughts reside, consciously or unconsciously. Okay. Now, we have some homework or tools for thriving. And those tools for thriving is no harm, no foul. Choose one day this week to be ultra conscious of every action you take. Every action you take. Evaluate all the consequences of your actions before you take each one. Like Daryl was saying, sometimes we don't know. Evaluation. Ask yourself, does the action benefit me? Will the action cause harm in any way to myself, another, or the planet? No. Then no harm, no foul, I take action. So if it's a no, then no harm, no foul, you take action. If it causes harm, what alternatives are available to me, to you, that might reduce or eliminate the negative impact altogether? And am I willing to act on the alternative? Because sometimes we get stubborn, we dig our heels in. I'm going to do it my way. Am I willing to act on the alternative? Then take the action you are most aligned with. That balance, that alignment that Daryl talked about. Take the action that you're most aligned with. Thank you.
Woo-hoo. All right, you got your marching orders? You know what you're doing? Take one day this week, right? Take one this week. Pay attention to everything every choice you're going to make. That just choose one day. Pay attention to every choice you're going to make, every decision you're going to make, and decide if this is of benefit to you, if it's going to harm someone else or harm yourself. Then if it's not going to harm you or someone else, go ahead and take the action. If it is going to harm you or someone else, then pause, think of an alternative, come up with an alternative, and see if you're willing to take that one. It's nice and easy, right? One full day. Try and get through an hour and see what happens. But I invite you to one full day.
Okay. So taking in a deep breath. Recognizing that there's only one power, one presence. The presence of good. God, the living Spirit Almighty, is all good. That power lives within me. It moves me. It has its being. It's all around me. I know that it's good. I know that it's perfect. I know that I am within it as it. And I know that for me, I know that it's love. I know that it's compassion. I know that it's conscious and right thinking that I have access to. And I know that for me, I know it for you, my beloveds. I know it for you. This incredible power, which is God, is emanating through you as you. And so we use this law consciously because it takes the impress of our thoughts and it acts upon them. It acts upon them. So we consciously move ourselves into right action, right direction. We consciously move ourselves into love, into joy, into peace. And because we are consciously focusing on that, that is what we give out to the world. So I bless this day, I bless this community, and all of you in it. And so it is.
So it is.
Now let's say our affirmation together, and let's say it like we mean it.
Stand and let's say it
Stand
together.
and let's say it together. I consciously create for the highest good of all. Let's say it one more time. I consciously create for the highest good of all. Thank you.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called love.
It is this thing called love.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my body.
Love is in my body.
Love is in everything I do.
Love is in everything I do.
I am it.
I am it.
I share it.
I share it.
I receive it.
I receive it.
And I move love forward.
And I move love forward.
Because
Love lives here.
Let's see.